episode 163 of New Meta Podcast. We're back, done, finished talking about the post 7.0 heroes, back with a classic ep, talking about, well, the meta. What else? Barra, offlane, is the funky sauce this week. We're also going to be talking about dealing with Techies, because we all think that Techies has been showing up a little bit too much in our games, and it's always interesting to discuss dealing with these super annoying heroes, and I feel like Techies tops the list of annoying heroes, probably, unless you're Adam, in which case it's Void Spirit, but other than that. Marco, welcome to the pod this week. How you doing?
Doing very well, thank you.
Excellent. You're looking forward to dealing with Techies. How well do you think you deal with Techies?
Mentally or in-game, like, literally?
Mentally. How do you mentally deal with Are you good at mentally dealing with Techies?
To be honest, it probably doesn't piss me off as much as Pango, because Pango is like a 10 seconds, how's this happening? Whereas at Techies, it's instantaneous death. Mines blow you up. It's salty, but it's also like, well, at least it was short and quick. Dead 400 seconds and the game's just lost because I got blown up by mines. But that's fine. Just stare at the screen for a minute. Yeah. So I think mentally it's not the worst.
I actually know the spell that mentally breaks you the most, and I don't think it's Pango Roll. Maybe it is Pango Roll, but I actually think Tiny Avalanche. I've seen you don't like that spell. Every time you get Avalanche, you're like, oh.
It's because I can't deal with it because I'm always Ricky. It's very much when I'm Ron Ricky. Yeah. Can't Bling Strike, can't Trick to the Trade, because you're getting this little triggering thing, Avalanche hit. Oh, yeah. That's pretty annoying.
Yeah. Adam, welcome to the pod. I feel like of the three of us, you're the one that has some Techies playing experience. How does that translate into dealing with Techies? Do you just think it's this is a normal hero, nothing to see here, I just got blown up, 100 to 0?
I'm not even bothered by it, to be honest.
Wow.
And it's more just the stasis trap that annoys me than the bombs.
God, yeah, the stasis trap is so annoying. There's nothing worse than that moment when you get stasis trapped and you're a support or something and you just know you're dead for 100% and it's just like waiting to do. You just know, okay, I'm dead now. See you later.
It's stasis trap and then the Ag Shard. The stun on suicide.
Oh, I haven't even seen that too much, to be honest.
Or I guess Blast Off is what it's called. Yeah, very, very annoying. Because you're stunned, and then they lay down all the mines, and then you're silent still after you're done being stunned.
Yeah.
And he just waddles away at like max move speed. I remember the days when he just had 275 or something, or 270, like slowest in the game.
Yeah. He used to be so slow. It's weird that he's now like race car mode or something.
It made sense because he had to push a cart full of bombs everywhere. It's like, of course you're going to be slow, but then they're like, upgraded his wheel technology or something. He just got 50 move speed out of nowhere.
Yeah. Oh man, this hero. I mean, that's maybe we'll put that on the back burner. We'll definitely revisit that, the dealing with Techies. Let's maybe just fly into some games. I don't feel like there's too much happening in the Dota world. Just before we started recording, we had a quick chat about the DPC Winter Tour, but it seems to just be fantasy stuff, season-long fantasy. Adam, are you going for the top 100?
Might as well.
Might as well casually get top
for
100.
For NA. That's what I'll do, and I'll just bet EG, basically. EG and Undying. Put Dubu in.
Yeah, that's a good shout, actually. Region like North America or maybe South America, where you know the teams that should turn up.
I think you'll basically guarantee top just by, playing. Because I can't imagine somebody sticks with it for a full season, Yeah.
People don't stick with it for a full TI, and that's 1 week. So a full DPC season, that's pretty nuts. So, yeah.
You said there wasn't much news, but did you not see? They analyzed the strings
yes.
in the Steam update. I feel like I sent that message and I got no response. I feel like we loved Ag's Lab 1. So Agronym's Labyrinth 2.0 should have elicited like a huge response.
This is the one Yeah, this is the one you did a lot of, Marco, is it?
I did a lot. I guess I probably did the most of it, but maybe you guys didn't like it as much as I did.
No, I did like it. I did a lot of it. It was like a unique time of life, lockdown, just like degenning, not working my job for the first hour every day to play Ag Lab. So it's kind of getting a little box, you know what I mean? A little box on the side.
Yeah, we played Ag Lab separately.
Yeah.
You were doing it UK time morning, and I was doing NA nighttime. I don't know. I like that game mode a lot. And then Drow Arcana, I'll definitely be getting that day one. So very cool.
Yeah, that'll be an interesting one because Drow just got a remodel and now an Arcana. That's kind of nuts. Just in time for Drow to be OP.
Yeah, I imagine it's going to look real nice. And then, good thing I already have all the immortals for her because I loved that hero to begin with. Because now they're like all expensive on the market. Now they all shot up. So,
wow, profit, nice.
Did she win that from TI?
I don't think so.
Stuff, or
I think they're just making one.
Okay, it's just they're giving her one.
Probably tied in with Frostivus or something. Because she's an ice hero.
Okay.
There wasn't a Arcana vote at the most recent TI, and I think the TI before that probably is presumably already in the game. I don't know who won the TI 9 Arcana vote, but it's probably already in. Ogre or something, maybe? I think Ogre.
It was definitely already in. I can't remember if that was Ogre. If there has been one that's been released since then. Was it Ogre that beat Faceless Void or something?
I want to say yes. I know TI 7 it was Jug. And then TI 8 I can't remember. And then TI 9 Ogre. Or maybe Ogre was TI 8 and I can't remember TI 9. I don't know. There's some hardcore TI fans listeners.
Spectre. I looked at it. It's Spec Arcana. But they shipped it with the Battle Pass. So, really, it's like they didn't do one. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean, yeah.
So they just, I guess, were making one. Which I'm all for. I feel like they should have way more than they already do. Like, they should be shipping out one. Well, they actually are giving out a lot in the Battle Passes. I had to remember that. Like Wraith King and Quap and like IO, all those ones that are Battle Pass only.
Dragon
but I feel
Knight,
like they should
Persona or whatever.
Yeah, well, those are personas. Those aren't technically considered.
What do you think better, like, Persona or Arcana? Surely Persona's better.
I like Arcana because you can customize with other items.
Personas, I think, are too weird. Invoker and DK's Persona, I just think is too weird.
I did like the Child
Invoker's too much.
Child Arcana with the new set. However, people got that. That was pretty cool because they had that dark artistry Invoker set that everyone
just looks so weird. The Pudge Persona is basically
I love that one.
Another Arcana. Basically, it doesn't really change him that much, does it?
Yeah, I love
not compared to Kid Voker.
The children's music box sound as you run around.
Yeah, the hook sound. Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, so some
and
fun
then the Wind Ranger Arcana. That was a good one.
Okay, that must be the most expensive yet, right? That was quite high level.
What? Yeah, that one was pretty high level. I just think they should, outside of the Battle Pass, ship Arcanas, like, you know, how they used to be. $35 Giga set with new voice lines and...
Yeah, they did that for Ogre, didn't they? And Rubik? Rubik and Ogre had that, and obviously the old Arcanas, but a lot of them are Battle Pass these days.
Yeah, I guess they try to tie them in with, like, patches and stuff. I don't know. And it used to be when they would ship a new hero, it would come with an Arcana, like Monkey King, that you could buy. But, I don't know, I feel like they're leaving money on the table, to be honest. Like, Marcy should have shipped with an Arcana you could buy.
Yeah.
But maybe they want to have time to flesh out the hero and stuff.
They need to launch new bank accounts to have all the money that they already make off this game. I don't think they've got capacity for more money making. That's their problem. let's do games then. Fun cosmetics on the horizon. Marco, how's your week in Dota been? Anything to report?
I've had an eventful week, so there's a few items on the agenda, so I'll try and not spend too long on any one of them.
That's right.
But it's been an eventful week, nicely green in contrast to, I think Adam had a nice red patch recently, but I'm in a very green territory. So, been playing the ranked. Disruptor's been getting me wins, 3-1 on Disruptor. I think that hero is sick. If you pair it with a Dro, I think it's unstoppable. I'm always telling my team to pick it. I think I've had it twice with this combo, and it's just free win, free lane. The one Disruptor game I lost out, I was kind of overzealous in the lane, and I was with a Slark, and it just didn't happen. But anyway, 3-1's pretty strong. I had a ranked. It was a good ranked loss, is the way I'll put it. So I was pos 1 void. I was a bit like, I'm a bit sick of 5. I'll go 1. I get in, and I feel like we need a bit of control. We've got a Pudge pos 4, bad sight. Windrunner pos 3. I've never seen it in a good light, so another bad sight.
It's good to hear that Wind Ranger Pudge lanes persist into Immortal.
Yeah, it's a rough mental state when you see that. And so I was like, I need some control. I go void, and granted, I didn't play amazing. I'm gonna say, yeah, the 3, 4, 14 Pudge or whatever also kind of tilted everyone and did pos 4 Pudge stuff, and Wind Ranger against a PL felt pretty naff. So on the face of it, I was like, I could say the team did shit. I also didn't do great, so I'll take a loss, that's fine. But then on the back of that, I was like, I need to prove to myself I can play pos 1. So roll again, pos 1, because I got about 50 tokens. So tokens are no longer an issue for the next year. Roll pos 1 and have the most perfect pos 1 game to date. Like top 5 perfect pos 1 games to date. 14.06 PA. So get the sexy PA set out that Adam gave.
Nice.
At minute 11, have I got Power Treads and Battle Fury? Yeah, minute 11 Power Treads and Battle Fury. So we're flying. At the moment I pick up Battle Fury 11, kind of loop around the enemy's Ancients and go to mid, because there's a bit of like a dive mid. On the mic, the OD is crying, whinging, what are you not going? What are you doing? Like, pure toxic. I rotate mid after the ODs died, get a kill. I'm like, can you shut up? Someone on my team says just mute him, and then I'm like, yeah, I'm muting this guy. OD at the end of the game's got 9 involvement, just complete. I've never seen a mid player get carried so hard. 14.06 PA, 16-minute Dezo, into the Aegis, get the Aegis fight. I don't actually lose the Aegis, but I'm like living on 10 HP, like jumping in and out, assassin gameplay. It's unbelievable quality. Completely carry the game on my back. It like insane. OD is not a factor. Like, not a factor at all. Unmute him at the end, I'm like, fuck you, so annoying. You got carried so hard. Perfect PA game. Honestly, what a treat.
Beat a Grandmaster IO as well. It's pretty pop.
Was it level 30 IO?
Yeah. Don't see that every day.
God. Oh yeah, so I actually do want to mention that PA game, because the laning I was very happy, like beyond happy with. Yeah, we got a couple kills, which helps. Dazzle, really nice combo with the constant slows, but then I think I've had lanes against pos 3 Doom, which I've struggled in before, but I think what I did really well, and this is kind of general tips on the laning, the equilibrium was always in a really deep position, and so obviously getting that bit of an edge, the Doom can't really press forward in the lane, so you're making it much harder for the Doom to get levels. And also so what happens then is, by the time Doom hits 6, which is typically a pretty scary point, and often a point when the pos 1 actually can't lane, because the Doom hits 6 and it's too much of a threat. Because the lane was always in this great deep equilibrium, plus because of this, yeah, the kills help, but then the XP advantage of just CSing, you're getting that bit tankier, getting that power treads that bit faster. So when it came to the moment of Doom wants to go on me, I'm like level 7, 8, he's level 6. So that stats right there. I got power treads, switch him to strength before the Doom gets off. Bit of a juke. By the time he uses Doom, I'm really close to my tier 1. Again, that lane equilibrium point. So then he ends up doing a bit of a dive. A rotation happens from the 3, well done, get a kill. And it's like, oh, that kind of play just, it was just game-winning kind of stuff. In contrast to, say, if you're CSing near the enemy's tower, Doom uses Doom on you, chases you, fall down the lane, he gets like an ally TP, completely different kind of outcome. So I'm really happy with the lane, and then obviously a snowball crush. Very nice. Final agenda point was an anti-mage game. I don't know if you heard from Ron or Aesthetics about this. Mega Creep win. We had a juicy 3-stack 71-minute Mega Creep win. So
I think I heard about it, yeah.
I wish they had a stat in Client. It's a shame they don't, about how many Mega Creep wins you have, because that's like a serious achievement for anyone to do. No matter what your rank is, like not many people. I mean, we've all got like sub 10 probably. I mean, one a year kind of thing. So that was pretty crazy. I mean, Mega Creep games are just kind of mad. Ended it with a rapier and then just killed the throne kind of thing. We held our throne like twice, or it was like massive fights, just crazy fun stuff. Peak Dota 2, Party Dota 2, honestly. It was a classic Invoker game. I've done this before, and I remember Adam being tilted beyond the face of the earth that I didn't buy BKB as Potem against Invoker once. I always think about Invoker and think I can just dispel and be fine, like Manta or Lincoln's and you're fine. But actually, Invoker's got so many spells that you need BKB. And I never think about needing BKB against Invoker, which is kind of illogical when it's the player with the most spells, and BKB is good against spells. But I honestly just never bother. So in this game, it took me 61 minutes to get BKB. Their Immortal Invoker just been doing so much kind of bitchy control and work, and can't like lock them down and disabling you, etc. So eventually buy BKB like a non-idiot, and it helped. But anyway, Mega Creep comeback, phenomenal stuff. So yeah, very good week of Dotes.
Wow, very cool. It's also funny that 60-minute win was against, or 70-minute, whatever it was against a Lone Druid. It always makes me laugh with Lone Druid, where he just maxed items on both bear and unit hero man. Just both have 6 items. It's like double hero.
It's pretty scary.
Yeah. Nice. How's your gaming been, Adam?
Good. Yeah, I think it was 2-14 last week or something. A lot more green this time around, so that's good. Fleshing out the Marcy hero, 6-2 on her. I think I'm 4-0 with that hero in combination with a Treant in the lane, so nice to get that tandem streak continuing. Love a good dispose into, was it Nature's Guys or with the Q? Yeah. Been playing a lot with the NA guys at night with 4 position where I have a 3 Arc Warden. We've been doing a lot of 3 Arc Warden, so that's been pretty fun.
That sounds weird.
Yeah. It's been working out pretty well. You get like a Spear Vessel or like a Aghanims, and I won with a 4 Weaver and a 4 Wind Ranger. And I tried also with a Dark Willow. It did not work out, but that's because I'm bad at Dark Willow, I think. But it's very fun because it's like if you do Weaver or Dark Willow, it's like combined with the Arc Warden, you just force them to play this mini game of staring at the ground, trying to like weave in between spirits and brambles and bugs, and they can't dodge them all. So that's pretty fun. But I think the most fun I had this week was when I got to play offlane Abaddon against a PL, and I got to be super greedy and go Ags, Radiance, Molineer, and then the PL just doesn't get to have a game because he doesn't have any illusions, or it's so easy to tell which one's which because they're just ticking out so fast. That was a lot of fun. Very farmed. That game we had 3 700 GPM cores. And so,
oh yeah, I remember that one.
Yeah, you were Puck.
Yeah.
And we had a Void, Faceless Void random. And yeah, it's fun to be Abaddon and then, top off the build with Abyssal Blade and Ags, and then you get the Die of the Fountain for 9 seconds, and just 100 to 0 a PL in his own fountain. That's pretty sweet. And now that I think about it, that 4-stack that we were playing in, we had back-to-back random fifths that were our carry, and we won both games. That was awesome.
Unheard of.
Yeah, it was just like we had a Life Stealer and a Faceless Void, and they were the random fifth, and there was this perfect harmony, and we didn't have to talk to them at all, and they just did their part, or we weren't punished for the fact that our most farmed hero was not in the party, which is very rare. So,
is this I'm getting kicked in the party? Can't play one anymore.
Well, it's just nice that if you're not there, we can still play with a 4-stack. It's not.
It's an interesting theory.
Usually, it's cursed.
What position do you want your random fifth? Because in some ways,
I usually say mid.
Do you think? I think mid's too orchestral.
I think mid because you got the duo lanes in the party together, but
that's true.
Laning, I think safe lane's pretty basic. They just want to hit creep. I think off lane, you're right that you need coordination, and that, if anything, our off lanes often fail because we try and coordinate too much. So maybe we want a randomer in the off lane, so we can't have too high expectations. But I think we can put them on the 1.
Yeah, I think it's not so bad putting them on the 1. It's probably better than having them on a 5, maybe. Because you sort of need your 5 to be involved whenever you do something, whereas the 1 can just be AFK, and that's fine. That's kind of okay for most of the game. In terms of my games, I mean, Adam got to witness an incredible game, or caught the end of an incredible game. An incredible ranked loss, which was very painful yesterday. I've actually hurt my toe. I've fractured my toe, so I'm getting in so much Dota this week.
I thought you were going to say because of the ranked loss. You're
Yeah. No, but so I played 6 ranked this week, which is pretty pog. 4 and 2, which is nice. I don't know if any of you seen my profile today, because I've got 3 wins in a row, all on the same hero today.
What is this? What the hell?
Official Witch Doctor player 2021. Ooh. So just amazing. Ripped off three ranked wins in a row.
That's phenomenal.
Yeah. So I've got 14 tokens now as well, which is equally as phenomenal. So when I want to do offlane or mid, I can do that. But yeah, 3 Witch Doctor wins. It's funny as well because one of the games, it really felt totally lost, and we won anyway from throws, which doesn't sound surprising, but sometimes when you play at 4K, it's really odd. When I feel like a lot of the games I play in my bracket go exactly how you think they should go, and you're like, oh man, our picks are so bad, and then you just lose because no one adjusts and it just goes how you think it's going to go. But sometimes you have games that you think are going that way, and then simply by virtue of the fact that everyone's so bad, you get these crazy, insane throws that just turn the game on its head. So, yeah, Witch Doctor 3 wins in a row, which is nice. Don't have a lot to say about it, really. The most recent game was the best one. I definitely got a lot better each game, because the first game I played was probably an undeserved win. Well, not undeserved, but I just didn't do anything special, and we won anyway, because we had a Deucer that was 13-1 with 1k GPM, so that's always nice. And then by the third game, it was much, much better, and it was carry Witch Doctor, as it should be, with whatever, loads of kills and all that good stuff. And then also I got a Slardar win in earlier in the week. I got a Necro loss and a Sanking loss. The Sanking loss was the one Adam saw, which was really, really sad. 85-minute loss, or 82-minute loss, where it was a duo queue of Aesthetics, friend of the pod, and whenever I play with Aesthetics in ranked, it's always the hardest game of Dota of all time. I did have a moment where in the pick screen, which was slightly embarrassing, but I was in the pick screen, and you can see everyone's ranks at the top. And I was just like, what a fall from grace. Like, I used to play ranked with, like, divines, and now there's, like, fucking legends in this game.
Legends?
Yeah, there's a Legend 3 and a Legend 5 for some reason. I think because it's party queue, it was, like, much more varied. But anyway, God, this game was rough, because we had a 10k, we had, like, what's our lead? Yeah, about 12k lead at, like, 30 mins, so we're flying. We're against an anti-mage Tinker, which is just the grimmest thing ever, and tied with Ags, which is annoying for D-push, and we've got Techies on our team, so he's got Techies every game. Oh man, and it just drags into like an 80-minute game, and it's just very, very painful. It was one of those games where you come out of it and you're like, that game was so bad, and I'm worse because I lost. It's one of those games where Tinker, well, just put it like this: the enemy Tink had 14 deaths, and the enemy anti-mage had 8 deaths, and we didn't win. So that was a very, very painful one. But yeah, not much else to report.
You got your percent back?
No percent. I need some more Witch Doctor wins in. Get some more Witch Doctor games in, then the percent will be coming back. But yeah. Let's fly into the topic of today then, or one of the two topics of today, which is this Barrow offlane. It seems to be everywhere and sort of come out of nowhere, seeing as the hero was uncontested at TI, just wasn't even picked or banned once. Adam, you've been playing the hero in the offlane. What's changed? Like, why is it good? Why is it suddenly being picked? Is it a balance thing that went under the radar, or is it a change to an item or something, or just something that's been invented recently?
Oh, I don't think he was bad at TI. He just didn't get picked or whatever. Yeah, I mean, it's like hard. It's kind of hard to make that hero work in pro because people look at the map and TP rotate. And yeah, I don't know. Very good hero. I always love the hero. You get to have like constant uptime. You can gank at any period, and the more levels you get, you know, you're just running all over the place. It's nice, like point click, targeted, guaranteed stun. You can use the ult or you can use the spell, like the charge, to see things. You know, even if they're invis or moving around. It's really kind of, if you do the cross map charge, kind of trivial or like baby level to coordinate that. It's like, okay, can anyone TP in the next 20 seconds while I'm traveling down here? And then I think what people were sleeping on was the passive, or the W. What's that called? Bulwark? Not bulwark. Bulldoze. Bulldoze. Yeah. Whew. That's awesome. The status resist. People try and like stop you, and you just kind of like shirk off everything. Dooms lasting like 2 seconds, or duels lasting less than 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then late game he's insane because the Ags and Ag Shard make you like just over the top. 7-second cooldown charges and breaking people and getting magic immunity off of your ult. You're really like super strong. Charging through people.
Yeah, the Ag seems to be a very key
you just
item.
Clear waves. Yeah, you like wave clear too. It's what I think what people don't maybe realize is 7-second cooldown, and when you get the bonus move speed from the Ags, like you charge the range creep and you one shot the wave, and then 7 seconds you can go somewhere else and like either gank or just do the same thing in another lane, and then the lane is like, you know, this moving ward, so they're forced to push out, and then you just can like play around that. Especially when you have the Shadow Blade, that seems pretty core. Is like where like the Silver Edge, it's like Ags and the Silver Edge, because you just get to have like global invisible initiation.
And how does the cooldown of charge work? Does it go on cooldown when you hit them?
Yeah.
Yeah. You can't just like charge from base and then...
I know, that'd be so good.
That would be pretty fun.
But it's 7 seconds, right? So like,
yeah.
by the time you charge, hit, let's say you get one... Let's say you charge and you hit them, and then you do your ult, because it's guaranteed. And then you get one more like bash after that. You're charged up again. It's like really big stun lock.
Yeah, and also it pierces spell immunity with the Ags as well, which is pretty nice.
Yeah, and it's like you're like a tanky disruptor, right? Instead of glimpsing people back to you, you're like the ultimate chase hero. And if you charge on someone, right? This is what it's like when you're ahead. You charge on someone, you hit them. Somebody on the other team gets the help out a homie syndrome, and they come. And if you have the rest of your team to finish off the guy that you were on originally, you just charge on that next guy, and then like the cycle continues. Because you're just a big immovable cow.
Yeah, you're a big immovable cow that can lock someone down for 4 seconds with a charge into Never Strike, something like that. 4.2 seconds. It's pretty strong. Yeah. How's the laning with Barak? It's just go on people, just hit some creep. Like, are you like farming till you have Ags, or you're just playing pos for? I'm just thinking like what the difference is with 3. You just, to what extent are you hitting creeps, or are you just like always charging around, flying around?
I haven't worked out the lane yet, because both of my games, I always would play it as a 4, so now I've kind of like, those last 2 games where I played it as a 3, it's still almost defaulted to 4.
Yeah.
Because I like to make things happen, you know?
Yeah.
And I was having really good success with it in ranked, because like, it's so high impact from a 4, and it's like, it doesn't matter. I never thought it mattered if you died, because you just forced so much stuff to happen. And took so much heat off of everybody else. So the game I won, I was 2-9 and 25 and the lowest level on the team, but it's like we won in 30 minutes, you know? I'll take that. But I think it just kind of depends on your matchup. I think you want to be against a melee hero, melee core, because you can man fight really well. It's kind of tough if you're against like, what did we lose to? We lost a Weaver Axe.
Yeah, that was rough.
That was rough, because you have Bugs, which, you know, Bugs are so good against Breaker because he's got no attack speed. And then Axe is just a big, dumb, immovable object. Plus he slows you. So like in like an ideal world, you're against a melee 1 with like some ranged 5 that you don't care about. You know, you can just like go on them, battle them. 1 bash, like if a Crystal Maiden comes like 1 step too far forward, she's dead. You know, you charge her, get 1 bash, follow up with your 4, and it's like over. And you kind of rinse, repeat. And so you like really punish bad positioning, which is rampant at all levels.
Yeah, the nice thing about Spirit Breaker is you said it's easy to do coordination when you're charging across the map. It's also easy because the person whose lane you're charging towards like sees the icon above his hero.
Yeah, it's there.
He doesn't even have to look on the mini map. He's just like, oh, Barry's coming. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. And I will say one thing I really like about laning him is you can like battle really hard, and as long as you have 75 mana, you can TP back to base, get a full top off, and charge back out to lane, and coordinate that way. And like usually you definitely don't miss a wave. You might not even miss a creep if you time it right. And they just like, it's a beautiful like out of sight, out of mind hero, you know? People are like, oh, where'd he go? And then you just like are showing right back up.
And it's not just out of sight, out of mind, but you forget that you are being tracked. Or will be tracked if you're getting charged. I feel like I've had that lows where, you think you're being hidden and sneaking, you're safe and it's fine. And then when the barrier hits you, you realise, oh wait, they've just been watching me for the last 20 seconds in the in the woods, hiding or whatever I'm doing.
Yeah, and you're like, what ward did I walk over,
Yeah.
in the last 20 seconds? It could have been anywhere. If you're like, you shove out one wave and then go into the jungle, it's like, well, you showed up for 1 second on that wave bottom, so now here he comes.
Yep, it's a classic for if you forget you're against Spirit Breaker and you'll just die. You'll do something that in any other game of Dota is totally normal, or you split pushing basically, and you'll just show on a lane and then you'll run out of vision. But obviously you're against Breaker, so you're not running out of vision. You're just in vision, and you're like, oh crap, we're against Spirit Breaker, and then you die 5 seconds later. So
it is
it's
easy.
a rough hero.
Easy to punish in that way, mechanically very basic, and not just giving your teammate the heads up that you're going because there's an icon, but you give your team like 10-15 seconds to react because you're going across the map. So it's not even like a cutthroat play. It's you got this big window to respond or like move over to the charge,
and to cancel it yourself if it's not looking
yourself,
good.
Soft commitment.
And you can always do that thing where you're charging, right? And your team like gets to decide. They get to be a little bit more aggressive. You know what I mean? They start trading, and the enemy's like, well, what are they doing? Like, why are they being so aggressive all of a sudden? That's when you show up. You're like, honk, honk.
Yeah.
That's why. And it's like, that always catches me off guard in a game where it's like, the lane is going a certain way, and you're like, why are they so far up? Why are they hitting me? Like, this trade favors me. And it's like, oh, it doesn't favor me because, an Earth Spirit has shown up, or a Tusk, or in this case, like a Spirit Breaker comes out of nowhere. Like, oh yeah, rotations, those happen.
So I'll say Spirit Breaker in 7K plus average MMR games is the fourth most picked hero in 7.3. So the fourth most picked hero since the big patch that gave us Marcy. Can you guess any of the first three? This is in 7K plus. So Marcy is third, yeah. I think the first two are surprising to me because they're not the ones that show up in Immortal Plus. Obviously this is like the upper echelons of Immortal. Interestingly, one has a 45% win rate. So one is
Bane.
Picked a lot, but really bad. No, Bane's in the top 10, but he's not in the top 3. One's at offlane and one's a carry. Or I suppose, actually, one's at offlane and one is a carry / pos 4 sometimes. But I think mostly a carry, but does get played pos 4.
The one that... it's like not Monkey. It can't be...
No, it's not Monkey.
No.
You're not telling me that Pudge is top 2.
The carry / pos 4? No, I'm afraid not. Pudge is not up there. So Mars is the second most picked hero in 7K plus, apparently.
Oh, wow.
With a 45% win rate. Yeah, 45% is...
Okay, that doesn't surprise me. That doesn't surprise me.
And then the most picked hero...
Carry but 4? What?
Yeah, it's a carry hero that you do see played pos 4 a reasonable amount as well.
Well, I know it.
Say it.
Weaver.
Yeah, Weaver's the most picked in 7K plus.
Weaver's
apparently.
really good.
53% win rate. Yeah, very good. Very good. I just won a game with Weaver, Witch Doctor Weaver versus Wind Ranger Kunkka lane. So that was kind of nice, even though my Weaver was bad. It was nice.
Honestly, so on the pick rate of stuff as well on Dota Buff for just every Dota game. A month ago, Barra's 9.5% pick rate, and then today, in the last month, it's 14.5% pick rate. So it's a pretty significant incline.
It's just ticking up every day.
Yeah, people are realizing that it's really strong. I think that Bulldoze talent change, honestly, it's so minor in one line of text, but I think it makes the world of difference that rather than level 20, going from 15 to 20, even as a pos 3 or pos 4, it's such a significant part of the game, like critical mid-game team fights. Now at 15, you've got the Bulldoze talent, making Bulldoze have 8-second uptime, 4 seconds of downtime, and then you go, and it's back. Unbelievable uptime. And to get that at level 15 rather than level 20, just in fights, it's so good. Makes the hero near impossible to kill, so disruptive. I think that makes such a big difference to the hero. And then the Ag sounds a lot better, going through BKBs. Obviously, that sounds super, super good. Also, then, just kind of other wider meta ideas. To me, again, it's these range carries that feel strong. I feel like Dro is doing really well. It's only had a couple small buffs, but it feels more popular. The Weaver, like the stats, it's these range heroes, and I think a Barret, like a TV in metaphor, a Barret, I mean, it's such a great gap close.
You're one of the best Drought counters because you turn off marksmanship just by being your hero. And then I will say Gust is annoying because I did just play the game I won. It was against a Drow, but it's like if she's using Gust to stop your charge, that's one like her big defensive tool, you know. And you could like, it's so easy to preemptively bulldoze that it's like you shirk it off and then alter instead, and then it's like, okay, that's fine. But yeah, Weaver also because you just track everywhere he goes. And if he buys a Lincoln's, you got an easy Lincoln's pop in the future, especially when you have Ags. 7-second Lincoln's pop, very nice.
Yeah, I think the hero is also a lot of fun as well. So that's always helps it in terms of getting recommended. It's a fun hero to play.
Yeah, whenever I start to, like, it's my Zen mode hero. It's like if I'm getting a little too, like, upset, just like, I'll just play Spirit Breaker. Because you can just go all over the place and hit people.
Charge people and forget about it. Yeah, leave it all behind. We've got Techies to talk about, how to deal with Techies. Do we want to just have like a quick 5-minute Marcy corner? Because Marcy's obviously a hero like Techies that's Spirit Breaker that's showing up in a lot of games. Adam's played it a fair bit, some success. I played against it once today and yesterday also. What do you think about this hero? Because I sort of feel like laning-wise, it's one of the strongest heroes in the game. Or at least people don't understand how good it is. I certainly am struggling to think of like how you deal with the W into Q with a pos 4 that just provides anything. You mentioned Nature's Grasp on Tree. I had one today which was against a Marcy Dark Willow lane where Marcy obviously just flies in out of nowhere, like out of vision if Marcy wants to. Suplexes you back into a Brambles, into a Shadow Realm, big right click with some slows maybe on the Marcy Orbital Venom or something, or even without that, just is obviously going to get hits in while you're stunned and is now the wrong side of you, can body block. The hero's laning's absolutely bonkers. And then I feel like can struggle, or at least the Marcys I've seen have sort of struggled into the mid game where that jump into suplex potential maybe isn't quite there, or is if you want to do something like that, you almost risk forcing it a lot. I know when I was playing Witch Doctor today, I was just standing behind my carry or my mid hero when they went to hit creeps in the lane. Marcy would fly in and I'd like just instantly stun Maledict ult or just punish. And the Marcy sort of fell off after insane lanes. I don't know how you feel about that, Adam or Marco, but just about like how Marcy scales, because it seems like a win lane, maybe lose game kind of hero, or is it just ultra strong in all stages?
I think it's still strong, but I agree that the lane in goes well, but then it can be hard to get work done in the mid game. And my couple examples are exactly that, where I feel like I've done great in the lane, but then really struggle to make stuff happen because all it takes. I mean, even a pos 5 can be. I mean, if you're not blowing them in a suplex, all it takes is one disable and you're kind of useless. And it's funny because I went on Dota, but from the first trending guide had someone win on the offlane phase BKB, and it's made me think, I feel like first item BKB could be the solution because it's so easy to stop and you don't have insane damage anymore that you can bypass the BKB. It feels it's not like you're 1 to 100 heroes as you once were. So now it's like, hey, if you get BKB, you are unstoppable. But it's a matter of getting it. And if you go armlet BKB as an offlaner, it feels like that can take too long.
And also against heroes that don't have an escape, you will kill them. You don't need like some Yasha. You don't need some like Basher or Yasha or damage items straight away. Like, you'll kill them if you're not disabled. So getting BKB is like pretty strong. If you've got ult up, they will die during BKB unless they have a 4-staff or a way to get out.
Yeah. Another issue I had, and I feel like an issue with Marcy generally, is a good early game, but then in the mid game, the enemy team felt kind of bundled, and without any, if anyone's in a 2-man plus, you can't do any pick off. You're so easy to get disabled. And so then the alternative was, well, I can't team fight them. Marcy's not like a Pango or a Mars or a Tide that's happy to team fight, just so single target. And then I can't push, I can't split push, I can't farm fast because your spells are a bit awkward. You really don't nuke waves or anything like that. So then it felt, shit, what's the purpose of Marcy in the mid game if you're not able to find little kill, little gank skirmish all the time? That's something I struggled with recently. But if you can get that momentum, maybe, the hero's still good. It's interesting to see on Dota buff, the mid win rate is a lot better. 54.5 versus 51.3 in the offlane. So from the mid, more success, less pick rate, but more success. I kind of think that makes sense because it is a snowball hero to me. You know, when you're not flash farming, you're not hitting objectives or kind of occupying space on the map, you are very hero aggression.
So you've got little tricky bits and bobs you can do as well mid, like with suplexes around the towers and stuff like that. You can. I've been caught out a couple of times with really annoying little moves like that.
I like, honestly, the 4 when I've seen it, and I've seen it in kind of high level games. I feel like the 4 has got, it comes back to this point that her mechanics are so slick that the suplex save and the jump gap close. I love seeing Blink before. It can just get a solo. It doesn't need any items to enable a pos 4. It's not like it needs a blink or it needs an Aether Lens. It's ready to go. So you can also get these like really good support items, and that feels really strong. So maybe I'll try it as a 3 again. I did get a bit disheartened because I felt like I couldn't stomp a game and snowball and win it solo, but maybe I need to just go first item BKB.
Let's talk about Techies then for the last section of the pod. Man, this hero, as discussed at the start, it's pretty annoying. It's worth knowing what to do about it, and it's been in 2 of my games today. It was in my ranked game yesterday, so it's been in 3 of my last 4 ranked games. So this hero, that's 3 games too many as far as I'm concerned. It has given me some time to think about what to do about it, and obviously Mark and Adam, with your infinite wisdom and knowledge, will also know what to do to deal with this hero. First thing I'm going to pose the question is, how good is this hero? Because in some ways I think, man, Techies, games go late, you have the potential to blow a hero 100-0, and you prolong the game, which can be good. You've got annoying laning with Blast Off. Is the hero good? Sometimes I think it's, oh wow, what a decent pub hero, and then other games I just think, oh, totally useless. Do we think it's any good? Do we just think, look at the stats and the stats will tell you? Or how do you feel when you play with or against a Techies?
I think if someone knows what they're doing, Techies is really, really good. But it's such a casual bait hero that, like, same with Pudge, like, not everybody knows what they're doing. And if you don't know what you're doing on Techies, you've made the game 4v5. Like, sure, you'll get a cheeky kill at one point, but, like, your team is never going to be able to go in a fight because they're 4v5. And I think that's probably what separates good and bad Techies, because good Techies fight with people, fight with the team. They use the blast off beyond the laning stage because it's an insane spell, you know?
Yeah, 47.5% win rate in Immortal Plus, and given the range of Techies players that are probably out there in the 5% pick rate, some players I'm sure have good success of it. There'll definitely be players in Immortal that if you took Techies out of the hero pool, they'd be like 3k or 4k or something, I reckon. But
yeah, PPD's brother,
ultra Techie specialists. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dealing with techies, what comes to mind for you, Marco, when you just when you think about, they've picked techies, like, if you had to make a list or just throw out some general concepts for dealing with the hero, what are you thinking?
So, I mean, obviously by awards is the obvious answer, but more in kind of a mindset way, you do have to play a different game. You have to switch your brain into, it's a techies game, and you've got to play with that extra layer of discipline. And that's why I personally don't like it. I'm playing Dota 2.2, not Dota 2. It's not a normal game, but you have to be always wary of those ramps, always wary of those towers, always really disciplined with who's leading with sentries, what vision are you playing around. And so that's the biggest fails that happen. You kind of, you walk up a ramp and die, and it's like, yeah, you got no right to walk up a blind ramp because there's a techies, and just kind of those micro adjustments go a long way when there's a techies, infinitely more than any other hero in the game. So, yeah, in terms of dealing with it, I mean, how do you itemize? I think a big criminal fail is not buying gem early enough. I think people are often scared of buying gem and losing it, so they don't. When actually, even if and you're not ahead, put it on a core, even at 20 minutes, 23 minutes, it's going to make a massive difference. And as long as they're playing smart and safe, maybe it feels like a big risk, but you almost have to do it. It makes a massive difference. And I've seen games happen where like people are afraid to buy gem until like 30 plus, and sometimes it's then games getting too late and too hard, and you'd actually really value getting it earlier.
You got to put it on that cooldown so you can buy a second one.
Yeah, exactly. Buy it early enough so you can buy it again when you inevitably get blown up and die or whatever. Also, itemization, apart from gem, is things like 4 staffs and mules, particularly for the status stuff. That can be
BKB
a big
and
help.
Manta.
Obviously, BKB, it's like you really probably can't not get that for big team fights.
Manta's really good just for the stasis ward.
Yeah, even throwing them up ramps, that helps.
Yeah.
Scouting.
I just want to add, like, techies, you do have to play a different way, like what Marco said, because Dota's already so, taxing on your brain. The problem with techies is that it taxes other parts of your brain. It's the things that you take for granted, like walking up a hill or going into a roach pit, or, just like the moments where you take a breath after a big team fight and you let your brain take like a 1 second rest is when you walk up that high ground or walk back into your jungle and you get blown up. The things that you take as a given in 99% of the other Dota games you play are not a given in a techies game. You can't blind run into the trees to follow somebody. Yeah. You can't just like walk up to a tier 1 or a tier 2 and start hitting it. It's just like stuff like that. You gotta think. And since you're already thinking so much, you gotta think about the other things. That's what makes it tough. And that's what makes people like all chat and just the pure vitriol you get when like someone blows up.
I had a couple of weeks ago. I had this playing versus Techies and Tinker, and I messaged the WhatsApp about this loss, and we lost. It was kind of an epic hold, coming back, PA, king like late game carry kind of thing. One of our heroes goes into the pit. We just want to fight. We get Rosh. This is comeback time. Late game, like 35 minutes. This is when we come back and change momentum. One guy goes into the pit, gets blown up. Yikes. Alright, cleared the way, boys. Me and Dazzle go into the pit after him. Don't place a ward fast enough, and then boom, there's the second lot of mines. We get blown up. Everyone's dead for like 100 seconds, buybacks and stuff like this. And it's like, yeah, there's that discipline we didn't have. Pretty classic. I think Adam makes a good point about the aggression. So later in the game, absolutely, you're just griefing when you don't get involved and you play AFK. What's that like Windows game called with landmines?
Minesweeper.
Fucking Minesweeper players.
It's really like, Well, sorry, I just want to say, like, if you don't play with a team, you're guaranteeing to play Minesweeper. Like, you're guaranteeing the high ground hold, I mine the whole base. Like, and people say, like, oh, Techies only does that. And it's because people play in a way where that's the only way you're allowed to play, you know? Because you're not participating with everybody.
But good Techies can really... I mean, like, a good Techies will finish the game, and I've been checking a couple, second highest hero damage. And yeah, a lot of that might be AFK mines, but a lot of it's throwing bombs in fights, doing status, doing suicide and silence, things like this. And going earlier in the game, I think an issue often playing against Techies is not giving them enough respect. And like Adam says, if they're a Techies player, it's almost like a Techies player is kind of 500 MMR better than you, because Techies is almost so crap that they have to be like really good at Techies to be at your level, whatever that may be. And I feel like you can get in these games where you don't respect them, and then in the laning, all of a sudden, like they've done some kind of planting a mine on you, and you've not responded fast enough, and they've comboed it with their lane partner, and it's 300 damage at minute 2. Or they do those cheeky like suicides that you weren't quite ready for, you weren't thinking about, or you walk past a tree you think's safe, and there's an awkward mine, and it's so easy to get caught out, and a lot of the time it's because of the Techies' aggression can catch you out. So I think that can be tough to deal with, honestly.
Yeah, just like, imagine in a vacuum, a hero that has a spell that you can initiate from, well, you see, it doesn't even have the cast range on the tooltip, of course, but it's a 600 damage AoE 7-second silence that you can initiate from trees. And
the silence duration's nuts.
That's a hero that you want to be on the opposite side of the map. You know, it's like, and they follow that up with a mine or an ability that roots for 5 seconds, and then they have another AoE 740 damage nuke and another 600 damage nuke that they can just pop off whenever they want. And that's the type of hero that you want to be in the team fight, in the chaos of the team fight. Because you play around Techies if, you know, nothing's going on. Like, oh, I'm going to walk up over here. Look, oh, yep, mine's over there. Not going to go over there. Or, oh, I'm going to stasis, Manta, walk away. It's in the team fight. We're like, oh, I got to dodge all these other spells that this mine cart comes out of nowhere and silences you for 7 seconds. And if it's late, you know, stuns you, and then gets to drop off all this other damage. You get like 100 to 0 without even having a minefield there. Yeah. I think he offers a lot.
Oh, 100%. The blast off in the lane's so annoying because he can blast off onto your heroes, and because you're silenced for so long, you like can't even counterplay. I had it today, Drow Doc versus Techies, and he would just blast off onto us, be like 25% HP, but because he's so fast, he just runs away, and it's like, what? I can't even get a cast on him because I'm just silenced.
No frost arrow either.
Yeah, it's nuts.
And I should say that at 15, the mana regen talent is really good, but I think it's a bait because it's only for people that don't get active. If you kick the other one, it's a 900 damage. Like, Blast Off is 900 damage. AoE. And then also, if you get the 20% magic resist talent at 10, and you're blasting in, and you're not even taking 50% of your health, like, you're really tanky. If you get like that hood build, and you just pop that and jump in, I don't think you take any damage from Blast Off.
I think, in terms of like a way to adjust, is, and I speak from experience a little bit, is to tone down the aggression in the early game. I feel like often it backfires, and you get outplayed by the Techies mines, and like you trade a death, and if they're trading Techies for a POS 1, it's a real bad trade for you. And so I think you get baited into wanting to be overly aggressive because you feel like it's this weak, easy to kill hero, and actually it's a really fast hero. Its HP and armor's probably not that bad. It's not like a Crystal Maiden. And then you're always guaranteed to be getting baited into mines and things like this, or he suicides, and it's an even better trade. So I really do think you have to kind of be patient, dodge that part, just play even, And yeah, maybe that side of the map will become unplayable eventually, but if you've not died and got your farm, you can farm the other 2 lanes and the woods. And really, you just got to wait for that, second item kind of timing before Techies is going crazy with loads of its own items, making sure you've not leaked deaths needlessly. So yeah, you'll need good defensive wards, let's say, not letting Techies infiltrate your side of the map. And if you're able to do that and get to kind of 20 minutes and the influence of the Techies hasn't been mega, then assuming you play sensibly thereon with your sentries, not doing stupid solo movements or pushing without sentries, you build the right item like a BKB, you should be able to take it sensibly. But I think it's quite easy to kind of lose a bit of control of the game. I know, speaking of experience, you're leaking deaths, you're making the game hard for yourself, almost a bit unnecessarily.
Yeah, 100%. If you think about running in the sort of, I don't know, when heroes are around level 8, level 9, something like that, running out of Techies, you're running out a hero, like you said, with really high move speed, as we know. It's got 7.5 base armor. And also, it's got a mine that if you run into it, it does 250 more damage than a Laguna Blade, like at that time in the game. You will just die, not even to ult. You won't even die to remote mines. You'll die to 2 proximity mines. So you really need to be careful. And even then, how many times does he just get blast off and deny himself?
Yeah, so many.
It's so annoying. A couple of things from the support perspective that I'd say that I had noted about dealing with Techies. In the lane, I would overbuy salves. I think salves are... It's one thing to play against blast off when he's doing half your HP, then coming back and doing it again and doing it again until you die. I think as the 5, it's fine for you to just buy salves and maybe delay your boots a bit, delay your wand a bit, or whatever. Most of your boots probably, to buy an extra 1 or 2 salves. Because at the end of the day, Techies, you don't really need boots. It's not like some POS 4, or it's not a lane where boots is really a big deal, like a Techies lane, but salves really are, because you need to heal your carry up when he gets blast off. And then into the game, just be a bit more cognizant of hiding spots. It's like what we said about how you're not playing Dota anymore. I died a couple of times in my support games recently against Techies where we're pushing a tier 2 and I walk into the trees near the tier 2 to just hide until something happens, and I just walk into a mine and die. So just be mindful of those things. I mean, it seems like a very obvious point, but it's safer to just stay under sentry and out of, I guess, I don't know what the word you'd call it, but when you walk into trees and you might be under a sentry, but you can't see in front of you because you're walking into trees. So you might have vision of remote mines, but you're not going to have vision of it until you're next to it, and then you're going to die. So just be careful of things like that. And by the end of the game, I was positioning right in the slap bang in the middle of the lane, just behind my heroes and stuff like that, because that was much safer than trying to go into any trees or anything like that. And yeah, echo the very first point Marco made is get a gem, absolutely. Put it on your cause, absolutely. We won a game by getting gem and putting it on Medusa, and then when Medusa died, putting another gem on Medusa, and that's just incredibly game winning and just playing around Medusa. So if you have a big Underlord, or a hero that's going to go in first, or a hero that you're going to walk through the map leading the way, that's the hero you want your gem on. You don't want a gem on your POS 4 Morana or your POS 5 Witch Doctor that may have bought it. You want it on the hero that leads the way and everyone comes behind.
Another massive shout out, which we should have said by this point, definitely a bit more for the later game, but Aeon Disc, because there will be a point when the Ag Scepter or Shard, I guess the Ag Scepter, where you physically can't reveal mines, will become a factor. And then there will be times where, as the game gets a bit later, you're probably going to get dragged to your team more. Aeon Disc can be an absolute game changer, particularly like a tempo mid, say, that just needs to be alive for tempo. Yeah, that can be really game winning.
Also, Glimmer Cape as well is massive on supports. We said Yules and 4-star, so yeah, there's lots of options, but also
Raindrop,
yeah, Glimmer 45% magic resistance is pretty insane. Also, on cores, don't overlook pipe. You don't necessarily think, oh man, against Techies I need pipe, because it's not like a Zeus or an Invoker or something where you're taking lots of small instances of damage where pipe's value, but especially when you're up against Stasis Trap, you're going to have time to pop Hood or pop pipe, and that's giving you 400% damage reduction on top of the 10% magic rares that you're giving your whole team, so definitely factor that into your equation. And I guess Wind Waker, save your allies when they buy Yules for them, so you can save them.
There you go.
Yeah, just get Wind Waker lol, just get a 7k item. Yeah. Yeah, anything else to report in general, dealing with Techies, or anything else you want to shout out before we wrap up the pod?
Do you, trivia? Stan probably won't get this, but Adam's got a good chance of...
I'm offended.
I don't care. You won't get it. I'll be very impressed if you get it. This will be like top 5 most impressive things you've ever done. What are the names of Techies?
Oh, okay.
I think I have 2 of them.
I think I could have had 2, but I've ruined it.
I'll say Squeal, Squee, and Spoon.
Squeal is not quite, at least according to this wiki page, but it's Squee.
Squee?
And then you said...
Spoon.
Correct.
I think I said Squeal, Squee, and Spoon.
Almost at the second, it's Spleen.
Spleen, yeah.
Squee, Spleen, and Spoon. What names?
So I got 2. Yeah.
So one's the guy... Oh, one's in the barrel at the back.
Yeah, one's in the barrel. I think that's Spoon.
Interesting.
Okay. He's just eyes, pretty much, I think. Or does he ever pop out? Because in the icon, they only show 2 of them. But there is the third guy that's just in the barrel.
Yeah.
On some of these cosmetics, he's an owl in one of them. That can't be good. He's turned into an owl. Techies has got some fun cosmetics. Obviously, Techies has the Arcana where you have little elephant bombs and you're riding on an elephant. That's pretty funny. Yeah,
that's not even the Arcana.
Oh, that's the Immortal.
Yeah. I like the Pachyderm one or whatever. The elephant's pretty cool.
That's almost cooler than the actual Arcana, where it's just where the Spoon guy is like not on the back anymore, and he's a bomb. He's like his own bomb that's skirting around.
I think that applies to the mine. I think the Arcana's the mine. Or maybe it is the cart. I don't know. Because ideally you would you would do the elephant mount, and then have your...
Is it not a set, the Arcana?
Well, usually the Arcana is like one item, right? And then you get to mix and match with your other things.
On this wiki, it kind of sounds like a set.
I think you do get multiple items, but I think
only one of them is what got the
Arcana rarity is on the mine, I think. Because that one you can change the color of with prismatic gems. Back when they used to make that a thing. That and the TB set.
Interesting. Yeah, well, of the 2 heroes we reviewed today, feel free to try Barra. Please don't try Techies. Or if you're anywhere near ancient bracket EU West, then don't try Techies. If you're somewhere else, then I don't mind as much. But yeah, until next week, have a good one, and we'll see you then.